In a decision that has sparked nationwide debate around freedom of speech and the democratic right to protest, especially in universities, the Tata Institute of Social Science, or TISS as it's known, has suspended a PhD student for 2 years for repetitive misconduct and anti-national activities, with the Progressive Students Forum, or the PSF, alleging that the decision was linked to the students' participation in a protest march in Delhi in January this year against the alleged anti-student policies of the central government. The suspension order, which is dated the 18th of April, also debars the student by the name of Ramadas Sivanadan from the TISS campus and refers to a show cause notice sent to him on the 7th of March, questioning his participation in the march along with a list of other activities on the Mumbai campus of the institute. While we at Mirror Now have been trying to get a response from TISS authorities regarding this suspension, we will be shortly joined by the student himself, Ramadas Sivanadan, on the broadcast, who will, of course, talk about his side of events. But before that, let me go across to my colleague Shweta, who has been, in fact, trying to get that response from TISS authorities. Shweta, this is a bizarre suspension that we are seeing at TISS, but what have you been able to actually get the response from the Tata Institute regarding this suspension?
Well, that's right. In fact, the suspension is very shocking. And now what we understand that various student union across the nation have also voiced about it. We got in touch with various unions, those who are already there in TISS, as well as the student presidents as well. Now, talking about the authorities of TISS, because this was a weekend time, we tried reaching out to the TISS authorities, but unfortunately, we could not get their response out of it. But indeed, what has happened to the student of barring for 2 years is something that has sent shockwaves to the entire student community here. And also with this, what we understand is that no formal intimation was already given to the student. Nevertheless, we tried reaching to the TISS authorities, but we couldn't reach them, citing this case that it was a weekend time and no one was available.
Shweta, could you also help us understand what exactly has happened here? What led to this sort of a suspension of the student?
Now, talking about this entire case, what we understand is that firstly, the authorities had a problem stating that their name was allegedly misused. The student union also, if you remember, they added TISS over their union's name, and the first and foremost problem the authorities had is that the alleged misuse of the authorities and the college name. Apart from this, what we also understand is that they were, according to what the authorities have been stating it so far reportedly, that they have certain issues of the students, the community going ahead and participating in so-called religious events, and this was the two foremost thing what came to light. As per the reports, what we see is that the authorities were not happy with both of the things.
All right. Thanks very much for joining us and helping us understand all of these details. In fact, on the broadcast, I'm joined by the student himself who has been suspended by TISS. Ramadas Sivanadan is joining us on the broadcast. Ramadas, good evening. Thank you very much for speaking with us on Mirror Now. Regarding your suspension, Ramadas, what do you make of it? A lot of students and student bodies have come out and said that this is a curtailment of freedom of speech. How do you look at it?
See, basically in the same line only. So as an individual, as a citizen of India, so I feel that what I have faced right now is it should be challenged and appealed and should be revoked. That is what I firmly believe. And basically, the charges which was accused against me is something which I was practicing the constitutional right which is given to me in the country. Participating in a protest against or criticizing the central government led by BJP. That was the protest which I was participating in Delhi, which was a protest that at a site where Delhi police has given space and asked, given. So I don't think there is anything wrong as a student, as an individual, expressing their opinion or participating in a protest where the law enforcing agency of the particular region or the geographical space allows to. So that is one thing. Secondly, I also feel that appealing to watch a documentary that is Ram Ke Naam, to watch a documentary that is acclaimed by the government of India. So I feel that is basically somebody's freedom of speech. I think I'm still positive about it. I feel that my constitutional rights are curtailed.
Ramadas, you know what the college is saying, what the university is saying, that you used the banner of PSF TISS, which is not recognized by the university, and therefore the authorities have a problem with it.
Okay, I wanted to share two matters on this particularly. The first one regarding usage of the PSF TISS. If you look at the total official pamphlet or the releases or banners of United Students of India, which is a joint platform of 16 student organizations who have held the Parliament March in Delhi. So you cannot find the mentioning of TISS anywhere. Not even a single place you can find TISS was used by the United Students of India for the usage of any university, because it was a platform of it was a national platform. So we were clear about that we are questioning the BJP government at the center, not against any particular university. So that is the first thing. So I didn't use TISS banner anywhere in the Delhi protest, which is being mentioned right now here. So that is a accusation. I reject it. I mean, I completely deny that. Secondly, regarding these organizations working in any university spaces, they normally use the name of the university or the space which they are working in. For example, an organization in JNU, which means they are a unit, SFI working inside
But
JNU.
Ramadas, that's the point of contention, right? If you're part of a university and the university doesn't recognize one particular organization or agency or forum, then you have to go by the rules of the university where you're studying.
Yeah, that is what I made clear, that in the accusation is in Delhi protest Parliament March, we have used PSF TISS. That is the accusation. So I completely deny it. It was not used. That is the first thing. Secondly, that is the first thing. So primarily that is not standing only. It was not used. Anybody can officially go and check United Students of India pamphlets or banners or the photographs of the protest, anything. Nowhere single you can find that the university's name was used. Secondly, any student groups working in any particular university, are they claiming to be official platform? I personally, or part of being an organization, Progressive Students Forum, or even Students Federation of India, none of the places we have used the name of university in this particular one. Secondly, all student organizations, not only PSF, all student organizations across the country normally uses names of the university which they work in to communicate where they work in. So that is what normally happens, but also in this case that is not applicable also. We are not used also.
Okay, Ramadas, the show cause notice also lists out other activities as per the university authorities in which you've been involved in, and they've made a series of allegations against you, which includes, the screening of the banned BBC documentary on campus, conducting the Bhagat Singh Memorial Lecture by inviting quote-unquote controversial speakers, conducting sit-in outside the TISS director's bungalow with late-night sloganeering. All of this, how would you respond to that?
See, allegations can come at any time. So I have duly replied also to all these allegations. So when the committee considers, I hope they should be considering these replies what I have given also. I was not called by the committee to cross-question if any mistakes I have made or any misinformation I provided to the institute. Primarily, one thing I wanted to share, that protesting by any individual, I don't see that as a wrongdoing. You can raise your voice, you can raise your opinion if there is an injustice happen, if you feel that you are not heard, which you can do. But only thing, you should not be violating the I wanted to share that in all activities what we have gone through, we have not violated any law of the land. And we have communicated all those things properly. One specifically, I wanted to mention one part. That is invitation of Bhagat Singh Memorial Lecture. I mean, controversial speakers to the Bhagat Singh Memorial Lecture.
Ramadas, do you not think, for example, the screening of the banned BBC documentary, when your country has banned that documentary, that wouldn't be violative of the rules and guidelines?
point number one, that regarding that documentary, I have disagreement and have protest against, in my opinion, against the banning of that documentary. That is first
Which
thing.
is
Like
which
the
is
Supreme
fine,
Court
which is
has.
understandable. You can disagree with things. But
Yeah,
when
let
your
me
government
complete.
has banned a particular documentary, why would you want to screen it on the university campus? And I'm just talking about it as an example because it has been listed in the
Yeah,
show cause notice that
yeah,
has been sent to
yeah,
you.
yes. Yeah, absolutely. No issue. So the point number one, we have opinion. I have opinion against the banning, and as a citizen, we may be protesting against it. If somebody is screening, personally, I have an opinion that there is no issue with protesting. But looking at the issue, what happened in TISS, there was no screening happened. Please underline and note that down. There is no screening of BBC documentary has happened. Students, we have asked for permission to screen. Institute had denied. Institute didn't give a resource to screen. So that let the world know that Institute didn't give a permission to screen, as well as Institute didn't give a resources. That is how normally screenings happens in this. So on the day, 20th
Okay.
of January, there was no screening took place, but students of TISS have watched the documentary in their personal gadgets, in mobile phones or laptops. That is individual choice of the people or the students. Some students in TISS, a lot of students in TISS have done it as a form of protest, but that is also in personal gadgets. They can do it whatever they want. Individuals will decide what they have to watch in their personal gadgets. So if there was a public screening
Oh,
also
okay.
took
Let me
place,
quickly
I mean,
ask you
we
then,
should know
30
that.
seconds, Ramadas. Now, what do you plan to do? What is your next step now?
See, initially I started with saying that regarding my constitutional rights is being curtailed. That is what I really believe. It is not against a particular university or any individuals and all. Hence, I'll be challenging it. I'll be challenging it primarily university. I hope university will be listening to my case. I hope there is some developments happen during this time. So university will be listening to it. I'll be
Okay.
appealing it with all due possibilities.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it there. Ramadas, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast and helping us understand the whole situation and your whole experience. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now. All right. With that, it's a wrap on this broadcast, but news and updates will continue on Mirror Now. Thank you very much for joining us right now. Bye-bye.